right, hello everyone. It's your girl Jynnette the Oracle. And I'm hoping the stream is looking okay. Alrighty, so welcome, happy Thursday. I hope everyone is doing well. Yes, I hope you're all doing well. We have come to the end of the month, thank goodness. This summer has been a lot. I mean, if we haven't officially entered autumn yet, that happens obviously at the autumn equinox. But for me, once we get to Virgo season, that pretty much just, it feels energetically like autumn because there's a lot of, what you call it, you know, cleaning up shop and harvesting and like getting down to business and all that kind of stuff. So it's a very, very productive kind of energy, right? So, hello, greetings. Thank you for the rainbow. All right, so I'm getting out a couple decks. So I have the Threads of Fate again, right? And also the so Threads of Fate by what's their name? Blair Porter and Britt June. And then also have the Ascension cards from Diana Cooper. So we'll rock with those in the beginning to ground the energy. And then I will use a different deck for the actual messages for the week. And then we'll close the reading with Wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reed. So yeah, looking forward to that. So some quick announcements. If you're not already signed up for my newsletter, please go ahead and do so. You can find the sign up link on the homepage of my website, which is andersonalchemy.com. I send out a weekly newsletter. One is always the monthly astrology. One is the Lightworker monthly forecast. And then the other two or three, depending on the month, are usually like other topics or personal shares. So yes, definitely sign up because I will be working on the Lightworker September forecast. So that will be the newsletter coming out next. Peppermint tea, y'all. Let me know in the comments what you're drinking. Also, please subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers. Like the video, please. And of course, comment and share if you like. So announcements. The enrollment for the fall semester, the Lightworker Academy, is officially opened and opened on Monday. And if you were on the newsletter, you would have saw that. But so I have 4 classes to choose from. One is a Working with Angels course. Another is Divination through Tarot. Another is the Astrological Soul of Your Business. And then the final one is the Astrology 101 course. So, oh, we got water and coffee and water. Nice, 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 nice. So those are all going to be starting literally on the day of the autumn equinox. Okay. These are going to be recordings, and I'm going to have live office hours to answer questions. Okay, so don't be concerned like if you're not available for the dates and times that the classes are going to be released. That's just telling you when you'll get the email for the video recordings, and it's all video. I'm still building out the Working with Angels course, but I think I'll do a little bit of video. I already have the healing meditations with each angel already done, and those are going to be audio recordings, but I'm still figuring out how I want to structure the rest. So ooh, gunpowder green tea, nice. But yeah, so enrollment is now open, so you can go to the website. I'm going to put all of the links for each individual course in the description box below once this video has uploaded. And that way you can just like link directly to it. You'll be able to read all of the information about the course, what the course topics are going to be, how much it costs, and in my email to reach out to let me know if you want to sign up, and then I'll send you the payment options, okay? So yes, last day to enroll is Saturday, September 21st, okay? So end of day, by that day, you need to have your money in for that. And yeah, that'll be it. And then the next round of the Lightworker Incubator, for those of you who are interested for that, I will actually be opening registration pretty early for that. It'll happen either at the beginning of October or mid-October, but it's going to be somewhere in there because I'm going to be closing the enrollment period earlier this time. I'm going to close it around mid-December. And the reason for that is, one, it's just a holiday season, then it's a lot less running around for me and, you know, dealing with registrations and stuff like that. But also, too, I'm going to be setting up things differently for this next round of the incubator. So that will actually be starting in January of 2020. So be on the lookout for that. But again, that enrollment won't open until October. And that will run for about a month and a half or 2 months to give people time to sign up, okay? All right, I think that is it in terms of announcements. How is everyone feeling? It's been really interesting energy because we're in the dark days of the moon, because technically tomorrow is the new moon in Virgo. I've been feeling fine, but like anytime it's in the dark days of the moon, it's always a like weird kind of time warp to be in. And it can be difficult to like kind of find center. But, you know, I was just being reminded today that the care for the physical body as well as staying connected to spirit and keeping the mind focused on heaven or the higher realms, however you want to look at it, is always a priority. So, but I, for one, am ecstatic that this month is over, that this energy is very much subsiding. And I'm looking forward to continuing to use this Virgo energy to ground, integrate, tap back into that motivation to get work done, get things done, to prepare for our spiritual new year, which is happening with the autumn equinox. I'm excited. Fall and winter are, besides birthday time and summertime, because that's, you know, just fun. But in terms of spiritual connection and getting downloads and really making a lot of headway for the future, fall time in particular, but also winter, at least the first parts of it. It's my jam. It's my jam. So this is like, on a different personal level, very favorite time of year. And of course, you know, we have Thanksgiving because food. All right, so we're actually going to start with Threads of Fate first to see what the energy is for the week. And this is going to be, again, grounding in the vibe of the new moon in Virgo. So this week ahead. For those who are in the US, happy early Labor Day. Hope you take the time to relax, spend time with friends and family, get some rest, right? Don't exhaust yourself in the sun because it's pretty hot in a lot of places. So that's a lot of cards. I won't take all of those cards, but I will take the top one, because this is like literally what I was just saying. The message came through this morning. Higher perspective. Okay, so, and at the bottom of the deck we have nature. Very similar energy, actually. It's like the wings are going up on the higher perspective cards, and nature, the wings are going down. Interesting, interesting. So let's see. I actually haven't worked with this deck since the last time. I think this is going to be like the deck for these Oracle talks, one of them. All right, so let's see. Don't know what energetically this is tied to in terms of elements. That's the only thing. Don't like about this deck. I would prefer to have like a table of contents, but it's all good. Okay, so it's an air. I should have thought of that, right? All right, so as people do their internal and spiritual work, we are less likely to be bogged down by drama or reactiveness that we know doesn't truly matter. But being human means that there are times where we can't help it. Sometimes it is easy to stay in a higher perspective and see all the moving pieces as they truly are. But sometimes life and the people around us are very good at sucking us into a place of limited vision. This card is asking you to see whatever situation you're experiencing resistance with from a higher perspective. Okay, so the bird here is hawk. Hawks have always been known for their pronounced vision and keen hunting skills. Most often, they are seen circling while hunting for prey. Anyone who has observed hawks may have noticed that smaller birds often attack and antagonize them. This is called mobbing, and the birds are trying to drive the hawk out of the area. Very rarely do hawks really fight back. Instead, they conserve their energy and find a new area. Such as life circumstances may try to bring us out of our center, it is important to remember you have the option of simply choosing a new behavior and a new environment for yourself. Call on Hawk when you need an ally and rising above. And that's really important, this thing about the environment. Virgo being ruled by Mercury, Mercury also ruling Gemini. Both Gemini and Virgo do actually speak not only to the personal experience of humanity, you know, mind and body, but it does also very much speak to your environment. Gemini more so to like, you know, siblings, close friends, the local area which you live, and Virgo, you know, work environments, things that are just kind of like mid-range social circle, right? So like Gemini might be like first degree of friends, and so much more personal, and Virgo would be like second degree. So this is going to be, you know, acquaintances, coworkers, things like that. So this thing about environment is important too, which I will go ahead and read the card for nature, because I think that that's also an important thing to drop into. I saw somebody write comments. Pretty sure I saw a hawk this morning on my walk. Nice. I've never seen one in person, but I think they're native to Atlanta, Georgia. Awesome. Yeah, hawks their energy is pretty unmistakable to me. So they feel like they feel like flying fire. Like really, it's just like they're like birds of flame. It's so, their vibe is so interesting to me. But I only recently remember actually coming across that. I think it was like last year when I went camping. Okay, so the tree on here is the pine. Well, hawks have been in my mind a lot lately, seeing them often when I'm driving around. Oh, beautiful. I'm trying to remember what was going on in my world that time, because it was specifically Memorial Day weekend. We went camping, and hawk energy was really showing up. But I'll have to like, yes, flying fire, right? Because you're just like, whoa, what is when you see it. I don't remember. I know at least like I was just about, I think, to start writing, or I just finished writing the script for the short film that I'm in post-production on right now. because I had just done a dance exploration of it a month or two prior. And so around that time I was writing, and then, was going camping, but I'll see if anything else comes through about that time. Okay, back to this. Pine. So the pine is often found towering above other trees and shrubs, indicating its ability to see far more than most in the plant kingdom. It is also a tree that is known for its long lifetime. In fact, the 2 oldest trees in the world are pine trees. I did not know that. Experience gives us the ability to see things from an enlightened perspective. If you are struggling with something, try visualizing yourself as the oldest tree in the world. Ooh. You have watched life for over 5,000 years. Oh, you know what? I think actually that oldest tree is here in California, and one of my friends is actually going to go see it this weekend. That's hilarious. You have seen seasons change countless times. You've witnessed many ice ages and dry spells. You've observed the landscape around you evolve. From this place, inquire about your situation. Listen, if that isn't a read, I don't know what is. All right, and then the crystal associated with this card, and there's no correlation on the card, but I'll just hold it up because this is just gorgeous. You know I love this gold, right? So the crystal is apophyllite. Apophyllite's energy is very much of the ethers. It is excellent at bridging higher consciousness and the human mind. A unique thing about apophyllite that many rock hounds will note is how many different forms it takes. It is easy to recognize when you know what you're looking for, but it can have many different colors and shapes. Its ability to take different forms is something we can tap into to access fluidity in perspective. Call upon apophyllite when you need support in accessing divine outlook. Beautiful. And I'll just read the short message about nature, since that's the grounding energy. And since that popped up for me. So here's the nature card. I think this is actually a pine cone. Let me double check. Oh no, it's hemlock. Okay. So this is the nature card. I'll show it this way, we get the reflection. Nature has a profound effect on our well-being. It increases creativity, relieves depression and anxiety, improves memory and focus, and rewires our stress response hormones. Studies have shown that even looking at photographs of nature can be beneficial. Like, real talk, you can just look at a photograph. If you live in a place where you can easily access nature, spend some time this week to get out there. Perfect timing. If you do not, think of some creative ways you can interact with nature from where you are. Whether that is sourcing local vegetables, plant medicine, or even spending time in a park. You can also create an altar using natural material: sticks, leaves, grasses, flowers, dirt, rocks, sand, or however you feel called. That's beautiful, especially for folks who live in, dense metropolitan areas. That's nice. Okay, so higher perspective is the card. Let's see what the Ascension card is from the higher realms. I won't take all of that, but Serapis Bey was the only one that flipped over. And this is card number 41 on the basis of Orion. Okay. I'll read the message. This isn't what I get with this energy, but y'all already know how I feel about this deck. Serapis Bey was keeper of the white ascension flame in Atlantis and is now Chohan of the fourth ray of harmony. He is known as the Egyptian because he worked with Archangel Metatron to suffuse the Great Pyramid with cosmic wisdom energy at the time of its construction. In drawing this card, you're invited to stand within the white flame and feel its influence. Connect with Serapis Bey and draw his energies of wisdom, cooperation, and dedication to you. He is the only master to work with the seraphim, and they will shower you with blessings as you tune into this Ascension card. Personally, I would just say connect with the seraphim. All right. How are we doing, y'all? Let's get into messages for the week. Oh. Okay. It's a quick energy shift. Guidance for us for the week, and we'll address human matters first. So, you know, our money, finances stuff, work, career path, relationships, of course, and this could be family, friends, romantic partners, coworkers, as well as health and wellness, and then spiritual messages. So take a few deep breaths, y'all. Again, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Okay. Okay, so this message is for this week, but it also can apply to the full lunar cycle that we're in, because it is the beginning of a new lunar cycle. And there's another new beginning too. This week we do have Sun conjunct Mars, so that's the beginning of a new Mars cycle. So we have a lot of new energy that started. So last week we had the, okay, I just need a straight channel. Last week we had the beginning of the Mars-Venus cycle. We're now starting a new moon cycle. Mercury actually has just come home to Virgo. So it's getting a little boost as well, and that can also be seen as beginning a new cycle. And then, of course, like I said, Sun and Mars conjuncting, and that conjunction happens on the 2nd, but I mean, they're basically in conjunction right now. This is beginning Mars's new 2+ years cycle in Virgo. If you haven't seen the latest newsletter, you can check out the info on my website, the September astrology forecast. And I talk about Mars's cycle in Virgo, what this is about. But this path ultimately is about soul mastery. The last cycle, which was a Leo cycle for Mars, was about soul gifts, uncovering them, aligning with them, etc. So this next 2+ year cycle is going to be about developing more mastery in those things. And I'm hearing the phrase being driven to perfection. Oh, this might actually need to be a Sun-Mars reading. Okay, yeah, it is going to be a Sun-Mars reading, so I'll have to change the description of this. All right. So now that has been adjusted, I'm gonna have to do a different spread then. Okay, this is gonna be a longer message, y'all. When you think you're gonna do one thing and Spirit was like, you thought. But as you know, I'm obedient. Hard-headed, but I'm obedient. Hello, welcome new folks. Ooh, okay. I should have known with this energy that just came out, because like Seraphim energy is like top of the heavenly energies. And then we have Orion here. Okay. Alrighty. Ooh, let me ground this energy, because now a lot of energy is coming in. This feels like it's going to be a big message. So this is going to be another okay, so I'm getting the message that this is actually about their conjunction. Okay, so there is energy that I am transmitting for all. So if you would like to receive, palms up in your lap. There is a transmission happening. And this is for the purpose of raising the vibration so that the messages can be received. One more minute. The transmission will continue, but for just a moment, keep receiving. Okay, and this message is being filtered by Jupiter. And Jupiter is associated with our Ascension work. Saturn helps with the grounding and the integration. Jupiter helps with the expansion and evolution of consciousness. Both work in tandem. Although Jupiter is the biggest planet. Okay, well, let's get started. Are y'all feeling that energy? Where are you feeling it? Charisse. I felt it in your heart center. Your head laid down. Yep. It's pretty powerful. Like you saw, I was just like, oh, okay. It's transmission happening. I'm still feeling the energy, like my crown is like lit up right now. First in the hands, now in the heart. Nice. Okay, so keep sitting with that. So if y'all have been following me for a while, you know that this is very different how Spirit has been allowing me to work with y'all in this particular context. So this is not a small thing when transmissions come through, because it's healing energy as well as activations, and they are timeless, so you can also always come back. Right in the middle, Aries, Emperor. Let's see. Hello, new folks coming in. Are you feeling your hands and your feet are tingling? And hawks have been coming to you as well. Nice. All right, so we're definitely dealing with the bird clan for sure. Sun and Mars together. I mean, that is pretty much Emperor. Let me actually double check and oh goodness, this energy is literally has not shut off. I'm still feeling it. So keep receiving. 1 second. Okay. Alrighty. Selenite wand. Yeah, it is very strong. It's like I feel like there's just this huge weight, and it's a lot of energy, but it's like this is different. But it's a transmission. Jupiter is coming through very strong for me this morning, so I knew I was gonna have to. I thought it was just really gonna be for me, but anyway, let me tell you what the cards came out. So we got 5 of Swords. Okay, Venus in Aquarius. Y'all take my divination through tarot course, real talk. Second card out is 3 of Pentacles. Third card out, High Priestess. 7 of Cups. 5 of Wands. Knight of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles, the Magician, Mercury, Three of Cups. Yep, same for me too. Nine of Pentacles, like if you've been watching me for a little while, recently Nine of Pentacles has been coming up a lot, as well as the Magician, but it's, you know, all this Virgo energy. As I'm getting cleared right now, as you see, with all this energy. Eight of Wands, another Mercury card. We actually have 1, 2, 3 Mercury cards. And 1, 2, 3 Venus cards. The Fool. Actually 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 Venus cards. So Venus is very strong here. Princess of Cups. And then, of course, in the center, like I said, the Emperor. Okay. Y'all, I was not prepared to be doing this right now. So bear with me while I ground in. This is going to be a more esoteric read, which is fine, but, you know, just FYI. So it looks like we're in this process right now, and, you know, also where we're being helped, of finding a new place in the world. And it's more so about getting clear on what ideas, thoughts, beliefs, perspectives, ways of approaching things you're going to stick to, and what you will pick up from others. Okay. So there's this thing about, you know, when you have perspectives around you that are different, what seems to be happening here is you really having to check in to see, like, okay, does this actually work for me? Has it been working for me? If so, I'm going to incorporate that, integrate that, and move forward with it, right? Because it is positive. It's having a beneficial influence on my life, and supports the soul work, the soul purpose. But in those situations where you are bumping up against ideas, ways of being, ways of operating from other people that are not working for you, or that you really, truly just on some level disagree with, having to stand your ground with that and not feel obligated or put yourself in a place of obligation to take that on. So this Five of Swords, that's the first card out, is, you know, it can be a conflictual energy, but it's more of a dance of ideas and of mindsets and of approaches and of perspectives. None of which are necessarily like right or wrong or good or bad. It's, is this working? Is it giving you what you want? Is it serving the objectives in the work? or is it a hindrance? So if it serves, then that Five of Swords would shift into the Six of Swords, and there would be a sense of peace and shared ideas and ways of being with another. If it's not, then it goes down to the Four of Swords, and you lean upon your own understanding, your own strategies that have already worked from you, and you know, build from there, and then wait until you come across something else that can open you up to something more. But there is a thing here about being conscientious about the ideas and perspectives that are kind of flying around in your head or around you. And I'm hearing the word autopilot. So it might be a thing where for a time you've kind of been on autopilot or not been taking as much agency about something, right? And you're now having to, with this Virgo season, but also with this infusion of Sun and Mars, because Sun and Mars and this Emperor here in the center is, it's pretty black and white. And it's very much like, okay, is this working or is it not? So I'm hearing it's like this come to Jesus energy. This is come to Jesus energy. But this is about mindsets, perspectives, ways of approaching things, more so things like that. Okay. Now, I am also hearing that Venus is helping us, because this is for me as well. Venus is helping us, or the goddess energy, if you will, the divine feminine principle, with understanding that we have everything that we need at this stage in order to build and grow and make way for whatever is next. Okay, so there's a message here that, you know, we're not starting from scratch. We already have the building blocks. We already have what we know works and what has been successful in place. So I'm hearing also it's important to not get scattered at this time, as well as moving forward. And this will be over the next 2 years, 2+ years as well, until we get to the next Mars cycle. Because it's not, again, not just for this week, not just for this month, but also this message is for the Sun-Mars cycle, or for the Mars cycle. So Mars cycles always begin with that conjunction. After Mars has completed its full transit around the zodiac. So naturally, we just finished the Leo. We're now entering the Virgo for the Mars cycle. The next cycle would be when Sun conjuncts Mars in Libra. So in between 2 to 2.5 years out. So that will put us end of 2021. And at that time, we'll also be in the North Node through Gemini as well. So that's going to be a Mercury ruled time. Right now, we've been sitting, we came out of a time with the North Node through Leo of the Father God principle, or the divine masculine principle. And then with this North Node through Cancer, we are sitting with the Mother God principle, or the divine feminine principle. And so when we shift into Gemini, it's going to be about balancing the relationship between those two in a healthy way, letting them work together within and without. As well as really working on the mind and communication and communities, like groups and communicate, small groups and work on a community level is going to be really big coming up. And I've been talking about that, but like that feels really good. It feels really exciting. These new soul cluster arrangements that are going to be continuing to happen. They've already been happening on a smaller level, but I think it's really going to kick up a notch moving forward, and that's going to help facilitate the revolution that is coming, which I'm predicting will come not this upcoming presidential cycle, but the following one. Okay, so change is brewing, but the we're not quite there yet, although, you know, things can change. It's kind of it's 50-50. So we'll see, but my vibe is the sense that I've been getting, at least so far, is that the real deeper transformation won't really physically show up in terms of revolution until the cycle after next. Because the communities and the internal work will be at such a level of power and strength and interconnectedness that it can safely transition with ease and grace without a lot of collateral damage. Okay, that was a download. All right, y'all, card one. I might actually have to go get a, 1 second. Let me get a protein bar because I may still need to eat something because it's going to take a while. 1 second. All right, how y'all doing? You still good? I hope. All right. Stick with me, fam. All right. I need to get a softer chair for Oracle Talks if they're going to start being this long. All right. Now, money, finances. And then we'll get into other stuff. So this is going to be a cycle of growth financially on an individual personal level. And that will be perpetual during the time. Collaboration is key, whether that's with spirit as well as new community that you're recently connected with. And again, that message came through before, right? Whatever you know is foundational and has been successful, continuing that. And whatever the newer things that have come in that are still grounded and truly in alignment with, again, new energy, that's a yes as well too. But that stuff actually should already be in play. There may be, of course, new things. I mean, There can always be new things that come along, but if you've really been paying attention, a lot of that stuff should already be in play by now. So this is going to be a boost and help you to take off running with that. And so our job, I need to keep using the we, it's not you, it's us. Work on what is ours to work on. So there's going to be a lot happening externally in terms of growth and change and opportunities, but stick to what you have mastery in. Don't spread yourself too thin. And I'm hearing specifically the phrase consolidate your power. Consolidate your power. Do what you do best. And stick with that, and that will help to give you the room to also grow the new things that you have already recently stepped into that are just in the beginning stages. If this was a larger pentacle cards, and this would mean like, you know, there'd be a lot externally for you to be focused on, but this is personal mastery here. But it's perpetual expansion and growth, and this is the most mature energy placement for Mars. This is Mars in Capricorn. So I like that because Mars has grown up. And this fits very much in alignment with the messages that came through about this Mars cycle that I put in the astrology forecast. Yeah, it's like ruling your own kingdom with this. So it's like, you know, you got, you inherited your work, you've built up. There's some new additional options coming in, or that came in, excuse me. And that's what you focus and work on. That's it. But the money's good. And as long as you stay in this space, the money will always be in this energy. If you move too much outside of that, that's when you see the money dry up. This energy also understands cycles. Okay, because there's a lot of foresight and seeing ahead. So you know those times of year when things get slower, what have you. So that's also a thing about mastering the management of your money as well too. Because the money is going to be there. That's not going to be an issue or a hindrance. It will be there, and Mars will help you as well to stay motivated in making money. But yeah, Mars and Virgo to me, I mean, all the earth signs, but Virgo to me is like one of the best in terms of like success, because they're just driven. So this is a great energy to be seeding in as it relates to money and finances for everybody. So I'm happy about that, right? And as it relates with what you may be doing with other folks in terms of building wealth, there are no hindrances there or obstacles from the universe. So what you choose to create is what will be created. So just be conscientious about what you are choosing to create, of course. But yeah, it's a green light there. So just, you know, go with the flow, be honest, stay honest. and hold down your part, and the money will grow. That's good. Okay. So there's going to be a deepening of spiritual power and spiritual access during this time. So this cycle is going to be one of deep integration of the work that has occurred in balancing the divine masculine and feminine energy. Virgo, to me, among other things, is the sign about integration. So as well as the Sagittarius or the Temperance card, but Virgo is very much about integration. It's on one hand purification, so it's a release of things that are bogging you down, right? So it's like going into the garden and weeding out. It understands the mysteries. It understands how to work with cycles and being methodical and consistent and driven to accomplish a goal. But it is also about integration, taking the ideas and making them physical. It's a very grounded sign. It's like Leo is the idea person. Virgo is the one who actually puts it into action. But that integration piece is important. So on a spiritual level, on consciousness level, as well as spirit and human physical form level, this is going to be about this integration and this stage of ascension. And this stage of ascension is what I usually refer to as the first stage of ascension, when you're balancing that and starting to open up to higher levels of being. So expect, increased intuition, clear cognizance, I'm hearing specifically, clear sentience as well. And for those who already sit comfortably in those, like it will be a continual opening up of an awakening of other abilities. As well as communication, I'm hearing specifically the phrase trusting the soul, being comfortable with the mysteries. Being comfortable not knowing. Okay. Home and family. There's mastery here now, or there will be mastery, but I was getting, it felt solid, like there's mastery here. So you know now how to navigate both the positive and the negative interactions with folks. And it's not throwing you off anymore. If it has, on the negative side, of course. And on the positive side, like it's good and it's smooth sailing. So home is looking really strong. And the reason for that is there's a deep sense of values. Okay, and you're not shaken by the distraction anymore. It's really good. Really good, guys. And because of that, that actually helps you to shine more, expand more in the world. Because once home is stable, you know, internal home as well as like your little home environment and nuclear family, then it's much easier to navigate the external world because you're not at war within yourself. So you have full access to all of your resources. You're not getting drained. And you're not at a disadvantage anymore. Which is good because with all the newness that is going to be expanding externally, being able to put those distractions in check is going to help you make appropriate decisions and not get in. So, all right, I don't normally use this, but the phrase ensnared by the devil. Well, there's that. Now, for relationships, those of you who are single and are maybe dating one or more people, it looks like ultimately what this dance is, what you have to be mindful of is getting clear about needs and wants and addressing that up front with this Five of Wands. Because this is an energy of like going through the process of reconciling, hopefully, different needs and desires. And if there is an ability to reconcile, then it can shift into Six of Wands, which is healthy interdependence, right? Both people are getting your needs and desires met. If not, it drops down to the Four and you just are chilling in your own space and you move on. But there's going to be a lot of practice around this and not budging from what you want, right? Because this is the kind of thing for me that's like foundational. So it's different from like Five of Swords, which is about, you know, mindset and ideas. Wands is like straight up spirit. It's like, these are the non-negotiables. This is also a Saturn card. So this is really like, you know, what you're being contracted to. And it's a Saturn in Leo. So this is about your soul purpose, soul mission. So there's different considerations that will need to be had in the dating front. And I'm hearing hold your ground, especially if the central, and I mean, this is a Sun Mars channeling, but I mean, literally we got the Emperor here in the middle. Like it's hold your ground. Hold your ground. Okay. There would also be a lot of dating activity period with the Five of Wands because that is a very active, it can speak to me about competition, which actually is a healthy, it can be a healthy form of competition. It can be negative, like in a work context, but competition just means like there's a lot of people vying for something, right? So that's good. If overall, this is a general reading, of course, if overall dating hasn't really been really active, assuming of course you show up and engage, right? and put yourself out there, I'm hearing you will come across more quality people for this upcoming cycle. Especially with it being a Virgo cycle, like there's not really going to be a lot of bullshitting, honestly. Like we won't have tolerance for it. We'll be able to assess pretty quickly and we'll want to move on. Virgo doesn't really compromise. When it's in its power, it doesn't really compromise. When it's not in its power, it will. But with this energy, I'm thinking like, yeah, it's not going to be the look this time around. Now, for those of you who are in committed partnerships, I like this. We got the 9 of Pentacles. And I feel like I'll have to go back and rewatch, but I'm pretty sure when I did the, which I believe was last week, the Mars and Venus conjunction channeling. 9 of Pentacles actually showed up in the shared emotional energy, and that message was coming through about, because I believe the masculine player had the Temperance card, and then the feminine player had the Lovers card. And I think this came out in the center, and the message about that was, both parties being balanced with their inner masculine and feminine energies and being whole. And then that keeps the relationship itself clean emotionally, clear emotionally, and interdependent as opposed to codependent, right? So the fact that this is coming up again, and this is another Venus card, this is a confirmation that, for those in committed partnerships, that message is still there and it's healthy in that regard. So that's really nice. And so when things feel off kilter at all, it's an indication that both parties need to get solid first and then come to the table. So if you see in this card, especially with the way that these are arranged, we have 4 pentacles at the top, 4 pentacles at the bottom, and then 1 in the center. So if things get off or shaky, like I said, this person needs to get their 4 pentacles. So that's being master of the domain. The other person needs to do the same. When that is occurred, then this can happen in a healthy way. Or get back to being healthy. But it's really going to require both people to stay on top of keeping themselves in a good place in order to keep the connection clear. So that's just the guiding principle, but it's a beautiful energy. It's a really beautiful energy. I'm being drawn back again to this 5 of Swords. Oh, I hope my video is getting a little splotchy. It looks like throughout this cycle, and maybe more so very at the beginning part of the cycle, we are still in some way reeling from what has occurred in the past, recent past or long past, because this cycle is starting in the middle of Saturn in Capricorn with the South Node and also Pluto in Capricorn. So it's been a lot, guys, and we're still not done with this transition. So for a portion of the cycle, like we still may kind of be reeling with mentally dealing with that stuff and getting ourselves right. And then whenever that process finishes, being able to then turn around and be like, okay, well, how do I now want to reframe my mind? What's my new perspective? How do I want to show up? What am I going to say yes to? What am I not going to say? What am I going to say no to? That is its own challenge. So healing is not just like looking back, it's also looking forward and being open to the new. So there's a bit of that for this cycle, giving ourselves the space and the time for these next 2 years, basically 2+ years, to know that that's also what's happening, okay? But letting this new mindset, once the resolving of the old has occurred, letting this new mindset come in, informed by the soul, informed by spirit, okay? Not what everyone else is telling us, because the soul knows best, because the soul exists at a time and space. And during that time of creating new mindset, new belief systems, new way of being and thinking, etc., being patient and kind and gentle with yourself during that process, because it's its own process. Okay. Oh no, the screen. All right. All right, an hour and 12 minutes. Almost done. I mean, I'm loving it. This is unexpected, but I'm appreciating this, and I love Sun energy and I love Mars energy and of course Jupiter energy. So this is nice. There's a lot that will continue to be healed and is available for healing as it relates to our ancestral lines and our personal past incarnations, as well as being able to create for the new. So don't sleep on that work. But there's still work to be done. It's available there to be addressed. There's a lot of collaboratory energy after with the Three of Cups and Three of Pentacles. But again, it's closer to home, so it's not stretching yourself too far. So maybe only working with 1 up to 3 people. And again, that energy most likely already came in. There may be some more folks, excuse me, that come in, but there's really probably only going to be a handful that you may indirectly work with. Now, interestingly enough, having this Fool here, it's very interesting because, this beginning of a new soul path has been a persistent message recently, right? But this is also talking about the collective, and it's really saying to me that we're in a completely new space right now. And we don't quite know what lies ahead. And we have to be, well, if we don't want ourselves to suffer, we have to be okay with not knowing everything and not being told what's going to happen next, not being told all the details. Like, I'm hearing again, the slate has been wiped clean. And it's going to be a create as we go. And there's not really a lot of roadblocks either, I'm hearing. I mean, real talk, I'm not picking up roadblocks at all. It really does feel like, the doors are open. The path is like completely open. Like there's actually not even like a path. It's like you just came into, or we just like got transported to this open field that no one has walked through. And we're going to start walking through it and creating a path. So think about this as being like an explorer. If you were the first person Like, to use a colonial example, if you were sailing to the New World, right? You have no idea what's there. Like, you don't even know what's, I mean, because even with the belief systems in the European countries, we know better than African countries because folks were traveling wherever. But in the European countries, you know, traveling past a certain point towards the west across the Atlantic Ocean, like, you didn't know what was there. Like, people thought the earth was flat, right? So you just have to keep going, and you rely on what you already know to be true and what has been successful. And you're just like, hopefully what I'll have, right, will continue to preserve me until I get to whatever that next spot is. And then when you get to the next spot, it's like, oh, you're in a brand new land. You have to discover the land, the plants, the animals, you know, the people. It's brand new. There's no map, right? Because no one's been there. So you're not going to know. And at the same token, spirit's also not going to know because choices are being made in the moment. The path is being made in the moment. So it's like you're getting a map and you're seeing magically, like, there's a little line that's like just starting to be shown. So you're able to see what has just been created, but the whole page is blank. Now, of course, spirit does see like all the possibilities, right? And that's what the high priestess is talking about, like, all the possibilities exist, but you don't know what the parameters of that new land is. We don't know what the parameters of the new land is. Or the new waters, we don't. 1 second. I've been laying on the ground in the sun off and on throughout the transmission to help me absorb it. This has been super insightful, like you're reading my journal. Nice. It's felt like all stop signs for me, so hopefully that has shifted to the open field you're speaking of. Yeah, and like I said, this is a general reading, and this is, you know, the week ahead, the month ahead, but also this new Mars 2+ year cycle. So this isn't like, you know, tomorrow it's just shifting. This is in general, like, what this cycle is about. So there's that relationship cycle that we touched on last week. And then, which is all internal as well as external relationship. And then this is the Sun Mars infusion led by Jupiter. And Jupiter's coming through because it is about the creation of the new. Because you have to remember as well, this cycle is going to see the completion of Saturn going through Capricorn, and Capricorn is about generational patterns as well as overall soul cycles. And the first part of the Saturn cycle, for a lot, everybody is deconstructing and looking at the agreements and the contracts that have brought us to this point. Okay. But simultaneously, it's also about creating new contracts, new associations, new ways of being, new perspectives to move forward with for the next 30 years. So this isn't like, next year, you know, I want to be at this place. This is like, no, what you're doing, what you're agreeing to, how you are or not staying in integrity with yourself. This is all determining what you're agreeing to have an experience and grow into for the next 30 years. Like, real talk. So it's not a small thing. And this is not about having everything figured out. It's, what are your orienting principles? Where did they come from? You know, friends, family, society. What you're cool with taking on the journey, moving forward, and what you're not. And whatever you're not trying to take with you, focus on the healing so it can be released, as well as Focus on what you're taking forward and be open to the new as it comes through the soul, comes through the spirit. So both are happening, release as well as growth during the Saturn through Capricorn. Saturn leaves Capricorn June of next year. And that's also the node shift about a month before that. Now there will be a retrograde, and I think Saturn actually will be coming back into the last couple degrees of Capricorn. So there will still be a little bit of time to work with that. So I would say really the beginning of 2021 moving forward is when we would really just kind of be in that shift in terms of Saturn. Now, Pluto is going to take a few more years, which is another reason why I think the true revelation, or not just I think, but that was a download that had come before, that true revelation on a larger scale for us isn't going to happen until Pluto finishes that transit in Capricorn. And I believe that is around the time when we will be in the presidential cycle after this one coming up. And then that will really be done, right? Because that's going to be larger transformation. But a lot of the personal stuff, though, is the Saturn. Saturn with the South Node in particular. So this is a big deal. And it's really brand new. So guys, please, and I say this to myself as well, with the Emperor here in the center, hold your standard. You're going to get what you ask for, and you're going to get what you accept. All possibilities will always exist. And from the highest perspective, there's nothing good, bad, right, or wrong. Because the highest perspective doesn't reside in duality. But we do have soul sovereignty. Hold the standard. Hold the standard. Hold the standard for work. The work that you choose to do, the jobs you choose to work at, hold the standard. So, for instance, if you're at a job and you don't vibe with it, you don't need to put yourself, you don't need to step off your throne as the emperor and put yourself in a position of risk and leave without having something in play. Look for a job that is really in alignment with what you want to be doing. That way you can make the choice to move from a place of empowerment versus a place of fear, right? Because you're needing to pay your bills. I am going to touch on health and wellness because I realized I didn't talk about that. And then also spirit, because I'm getting a message about that too. For relationships, even if you are in a committed partnership, and especially with the message that came through last week with that channeling, that doesn't mean the work stops, right? Like you have to keep yourself together, and you have to also support and encourage the other person keeping themselves together. And then the two of you can be interdependent and not codependent. So that requires still a lot of work. For those of you single and looking or dating, right? You have to hold the standard about what your needs and desires are, period. And it's going to require you believing that you actually can get what you ask for. And to be patient enough to hold out for it. And not compromise just because you want company, or you want to fill the space, or you want a distraction. Unless you consciously want to do it, then do it consciously, but don't. You won't be able to fool yourself with this emperor here in the center. Like you won't. With money, you know when you are living outside of your means, but you also know when you are stretching too far, when you're trying to do too much too fast. Stay in your mastery. You don't need to follow everyone or follow everything. This is interesting. This energy is coming across as very, there's either going to be a lot of growing up, some of us are going to have to do, and or we're going to feel more confident in holding true to what we know is true for us without lowering our standard or lowering our boundaries or things like that. So, you know, whichever camp you sit in, you're gonna know what that is, right? Now for health and wellness, there is an opportunity now, and you should have the motivation and the drive to work on healing the physical body and getting it. And so healing can be like, you know, if you are actually dealing with some kind of health crisis, like this is supportive for bringing you to a place of health and wellness. At the very least, by the time this Mars cycle finishes, right? And if you are already in a place of, you know, pretty good or average health and wellness in your physical body, then there will be the motivation and the consistency to stick with it, right? And improve in certain ways, and to go to whatever the next level is, but in a way that can be sustained. So it's really nice. It's really nice. So Mars is very much going to be helping us with that. And also being very connected to greens and the plant kingdom in general, especially herbs. Herbal remedies is going to be key. Now, finally, hopefully, we have the Princess of Cups here. So this is a renewal and reconciliation with spirit that's happening. And I was picking that up in the beginning, like the openness, right, to connect in and those abilities happening. So, but it's just feeling more of that like heart healing vibe. And we're returning to our innocence of being open to the magic around us. Being open to the miracles. And being open to the sweet energy that supports us. It's I'm getting a very gentle, very sweet, innocent, soft vibe from that Princess of Cups right now. And so this is telling me that this is how spirit is going to be with all of us. Because what we're protecting is that softness. What we're protecting is that childlike wonder of the world. Because that's actually what's going to lead the way. So there's the external Fool card, right, of like the brand new coming in, but it's also the Fool card energy within, the brand new soul, the brand new heart, or the renewed heart. Okay. All right, I think that's it. That was a lot. Closing guidance, please. Oops. Well, I need to actually get the book. So we got 2 cards, the Chess Queen, so trust and strategizing. See, I was definitely feeling that. And then the Resting Tree, patience and stillness. Yes, in the bottom of the deck, the Lady of the Gift. Generosity, receiving, withholding. Now, I actually love this because Chess Queen is 30, which is a 3. Resting Tree is 22, which is a 4. And the bottom of the deck is 20, which is a 2. So we have 2, 3, 4. So let me get the book. How y'all doing out there? Okay. Well, the energy has subsided. I don't feel that pressure anymore. So that has chilled. Okay, so I'm actually going to read from the Lady of the Gift first, because that's what the message. That's who the message was sent from. And that card says generosity, which is giving, receiving, excuse me, and then withholding, which I like. So it's actually giving me this vibe, this 3 of Pentacles. It's like the 3 of Pentacles has the 2 of Pentacles, right? So that's an energy of giving and receiving, like keeping the flow going, but also withholding, like staying grounded and conserving what is yours. Today's reading felt like an ultralight beam. I love that description, actually. That resonates. Okay, so Lady of the Gift. So I'll hold this here so you can see. Let me get, you can actually see it. It's so weird, like trying to figure out how to move with the camera. Okay, there we go. I want that reflection. Okay. Oh, so the key word for this in the book, besides the words on the card, is ally. The Lady of the Gift brings a message of tithing. Interesting. Oh, hold on one second. All right. To be your ally, she requires you to look at the nature and method of your giving to others. The world is your church, and you only need to distribute 10% of your wealth to others to ensure that the flow continues. Wow. Okay. I'm going to read that again. The world is your church, and you only need to distribute 10% of your wealth to others to ensure that the flow continues. Yet, this doesn't necessarily mean giving money away, nor does it imply a direct action of charity, even though the tradition of tithing is material. In fact, the kind of tithing the lady asks of you isn't tangible or material at all. She's asking you to look at all human beings as important in the divine scheme of things and show others that you believe in them. Pay attention to how you treat people and be mindful of your perception, even of seemingly quote unquote poor strangers. If you see others as successful and abundant and act as if you believe they have value, blessings all around are assured. Your belief in others has greater value than you could fathom. This alone guarantees your success long term. Remember that you can only keep what you're willing to give. Oh, and so I'm just realizing now, because it's my first time actually working with this deck. I just got it. Ally is referring to how this is helping when it's in the upright position. Challenger is when it comes out reverse. I only read these. I would only read these as a upright unless they like specifically fell out reversed. So this is where the allyship is happening. So that is feeling very resonant with the messages that came through. Okay, so Chess Queen showed herself first. All right, and this is trust and strategizing, number 30. Okay, so this is the Chess Queen has all the tools you need to aid you in your quest for a life of purpose, peace, and prosperity. Didn't that message just come through? I'm gonna say that again. The Chess Queen has all the tools you need to aid you in your quest for a life of purpose, peace, and prosperity. When she arrives as your ally, you're given the task of asking Spirit for a vision of your life. Ask also to know the right actions to ensure your part in this process of unfolding. Then, with a sense of trust, allow the strategy to be given unto you by the divine. Let it be given to you. Are your own goals and desires in alignment with the divine plan for your life? This is a reminder that there is your plan, and then there is the divine plan for your life. So for me with this, the divine plan would be the soul plan. It's not like this big, universal, although that does have an effect for all of us collectively. But this is about, the human plan, which is based off of your ideas about, what success with work, money, finances, health, relationships, that kind of stuff, those ideas versus what the soul is seeing. And that comes through with the higher self, right? When you're in alignment with the latter, meaning the divine plan, all manner of messages are delivered to aid you in taking the next right action for your life. The Chess Queen says that you will win this game as long as you let Spirit choose your moves. And that message that was coming through about with the High Priestess, letting Spirit lead the way, right? Yes. Follow your bliss and the inspired messages delivered by your soul. You cannot lose when you enter the realm of the Chess Queen and she appears as your ally. So I'm actually getting that this Chess Queen feels like this High Priestess, to be honest. That's pretty dope. All right, and then the resting tree, number 22, patience and stillness are the key words. And this breaks down to a 4, and 4 is the Emperor, which we have in the center. The resting tree is a sign for you to stop focusing and planning and be at peace in the moment. So off the bat with that, coming with the Chess Queen, it's like, you get clear about what it is that you need to do. Ask Spirit for what the next right action is. And in the meantime, chill. Like, really chill. When it's time for you to move, when there's something for you to do, when there's action for you to take, like, you will be told. Otherwise, just keep doing what you're doing, but don't overexert. And that message, again, has been coming through, like, conserve your energy, stick with what is yours to do, don't step outside of your bounds. Back to the message. This is the representative of non-action and relaxation. Patience is the key to being with this ally. The resting tree asks you to slow down, sit back, and watch the roses bloom and the birds feed in the meadow. This isn't the time to forge ahead in any way. You may not be taking enough breaks, So you're invited to be still and contemplate your good fortune, even if it means blessing the chaos in your life. This is a sign to allow everything to fall away except the stillness of the moment. It's like living within the space between breaths. When the resting tree appears, it signals that you've done all you can for now. All right? And it's time to unwind and allow your story to unfold of its own accord. Allow things to unfold naturally. You've earned the right to rest and relax. Amazing ideas will come if you do. Remember the ancient saying, we do without doing, and everything gets done. I'm getting the message with this too, that this, and it's coming back to that Knight of Pentacles, this understanding, what we're going to be learning throughout this Mars cycle, of the dance between the divine masculine principle within us and the divine feminine principle. Of with the Knight of Pentacles talking, for me, that usually references understanding and working with the natural cycles. So there's a cycle of growth and expansion, and the cycles of contraction and release, right? As well as stillness. And it's important to be cognizant of that. And you're going to have those times when, like, yes, you get the assignment, you get the step that you're supposed to take, you take it, and then you come back to a place of rest. You get the inspiration for the thing you have to do, knock it out, and come back to a place of rest. What we've been doing is staying too much in the activity and not enough in the quote unquote non-activity. And we haven't been resting enough in the power and the presence of God. But this is the bulk of the energy. This is what fuels the physical. This is what fuels action. So this dance of strategizing in action and rest and stillness, this is what we're going to be doing. Okay. And this is with the Lady of the Gift, the grounding message. Our ideas of what our output needs to be is grossly inverted. So we're going to radically have to shift how we show up in the world. Okay. We always want to be operating from a place of surplus within ourselves. And we give from our overflow. I forgot what that scripture is, but and I know I've talked about that before, like give from the overflow as opposed to from in the cup. This Lady of the Gift feels like it's reminding us about that. And if we are effectively balancing this masculine and feminine energy, then we will do so. Like, we're going to take care of the things that we need to take care of. Like, we are responsible adults. What I'm speaking about specifically is the overextension of energy out of obligation, out of ideas of how, like, all of that stuff is what is crumbling and what you're having to reorient around. And having to stay true to what is for you, what is on your heart, holding that standard, holding that ground, so that when you relate or come into agreement with a new job, with a new relationship, healthy contract or agreement. And you can't do that without chaos and drama and mess if you've overextended. If you've overprioritized either the masculine energy or the feminine energy. Now, both masculine and feminine have the same qualities. So we tend to think of the masculine as that which is active, and the feminine as that which is quiet and still. So yes. And also, the masculine is that which is steady, the 4. It's the sustainer. So it's still, it's consistent. The feminine is the energy that shifts and changes. It's the creator of life and the destroyer. So qualities, those qualities exist in both. But we're learning that dance. We're learning that dance right now and over this Mars cycle. I won't be doing any personal readings, so you'll have to book a session. I'll have the information in the description box below when the video uploads, but you can go to my website, innersunalchemy.com, to book a reading. All right. That was lovely. Very nice message. And again, unexpected. I wasn't really planning on doing something that in-depth today. And I didn't know something that in-depth was needing to come through. So there we go. Any questions for folks before I bounce about this reading? You're welcome. You're welcome, Taylor. And thank you so much for spelling my name correctly. I greatly appreciate it. That is a pet peeve when people spell my name wrong. They always like drop one in and like, it doesn't even look right. 8 letters. My goodness, that was a download. I am gonna go eat something because that was a lot, but it was good. And I will go back and rewatch this myself so I can get the messages, because y'all know I don't remember what comes through in channeling unless it's relevant to another message or if it's something that comes out repeatedly, then it will stick, but otherwise the energy comes and it goes. So yeah. Okay. So it looks like there's no questions. I hope everybody, if you're here in the US, you have a wonderful holiday weekend. Play, get some rest, work if you need to. I know I will be doing some work, but I will also play. For my fellow Dark Crystal families, like I'm excited that Dark Crystal, the new series, is coming out on Sunday on Netflix. Woohoo! So yay. You're welcome, Kristen. I'm looking forward to that. Oh, again, enrollment is open for the fall semester of Lightworker Academy. So go to the website and you'll see all the different courses. Sign up. And if you have questions about the courses, of course, you can just email me. I'm here and available. You'll get an email every week with the video recording. All of the recordings, except for the Working with Angels, are hour long. So it's a lot of material. It's good. They come with worksheets. And then I'm going to have live office hours. That way you can ask questions, and those will be starting. Those will happen in October because the classes will start in September. So you'll get a chance to go through a couple classes and then be able to work with me in office hours. So, and that will be open office hours for everybody who's taking the courses. So yeah. All right. So have a wonderful weekend. I hope you enjoy that download. I will be working on the September tarot videos for you guys starting tomorrow. So if you see a lot of notifications popping up tomorrow and Saturday and possibly Sunday, hopefully it won't go into Sunday. We'll see. But yeah, I'm going to start working on those, and my goal is to get all of those completed so that I can have those links available to put in the Lightworker September forecast newsletter that's going to be coming out the beginning part of next week. That way folks can reference it as well. But yeah, just know those are next on my agenda in terms of what I have to get done. So I'm literally hearing like birthday readings. So for my Virgo folks, I tend to attract a lot of Virgo clients, a lot of Virgo people, whether it's rising sign Virgo or sun or moon Virgo. So if you want to do a birthday reading, reach out. You can do a birthday tarot reading or birthday astrology, whichever you prefer. Some folks actually like to book both. So, you know, it's up to you. But definitely, I would say there's so much specifically for those who sit with some Virgo energy. Like I do also have Virgo in my, strong in my chart, like several planets in Virgo. So I feel like a lot of Virgo folks are being called to me because there's a lot that is truly transforming in their lives. So yeah, reach out and book a session and let's see what's up. And I will be starting to open. Oh, I guess I have to do that next month. I wasn't trying to do that until October, but I just got told September. So I will be opening up the 2020 astrology forecast reading. So if you want to see what is coming ahead for you in your astrology for the year ahead in 2020, that will be available. So that means I have to work on that workbook then. Maybe that means I have to work on the workbook now and then open in October, but no, I'm hearing I have to get that done so folks can start booking in the second half of September. So, all right, so I'll try to get that done by the 15th-ish, around there, so that folks can start booking that. But, oh, you're welcome. You've been seeing 444 all week. Come through, Michael. I mean, that's the angelic realm, but I also tend to associate 444 with Michael. That's awesome. All right, y'all, I'm gonna go because now my stomach is grumbling, so I need to eat. I love you. Have an amazing weekend. See you in the forecast, the tarot forecast videos for all the signs. And yeah, talk to you soon. Bye.